Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Man, this is gonna probably be another random talk because I'm gonna probably talk about a bunch of random stuff. But anyways, no, I wanted to just kind of touch up more on this coronavirus situation. Just kind of like trips me out, like the whole name and things, the coronavirus name, but. Anyways, I've seen like so many theories, like people. I kind of believed it myself, but then I started seeing like how more serious and serious it was getting, and then that's when it was like people of like high power and stuff. Like for an example, Tom Hanks and things. Like when he announced that he got it and stuff, I was like, it's just it to me at first. I was just like, oh, this could be just something like maybe to tell people to just be a little bit more cleaner or something, but. Then again, I don't know. That still could be the case. That still could be the case in things. But yeah, but it's I don't know. It's just gotten too serious to the point where I'm like, nah, this something ain't right. Something is not right about all of this and stuff. So, anyways, it's like me and like a close friend of mine. Like we were talking about it a little bit today. Maybe yesterday too. I can't remember. We were talking about it and stuff and just telling each other to be like safe as possible and things, but still just like don't take any chances. Like just don't take any chances at all. Both of us, we both have like very like public jobs and stuff. We are coming in contact with people and things. Like she works at a motel and paint houses. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who I'm talking about. But anyways, she paints houses. Like she works at this motel. Me, I'm a cashier, and it's like smack dead in the middle of Seattle and stuff. So yeah, I'm a cashier at this cafe job and things, and lots of people be coming through there. I don't know about now. It was like it's crazy because I don't even think I mentioned that, but I went from like ringing up maybe like over 500 people and things, and last time I had worked there, which was what was it? Maybe it was no, couple of weeks ago it was it was like that Thursday or no, that Friday. I rang up maybe like 30 to 40 people. Like that was it. That was seriously it. And it might have been less. It's gonna probably be even less tomorrow because we came up with like a schedule and things, and so I'm working tomorrow and then that's it. But yeah, it's like it's just really insane how this whole virus just kind of shut down everything. Now they got on Twitter saying shut down Seattle because like Seattle, it was like I think like there's like in Washington State, it was like the most cases of the coronavirus and stuff. And I'm like I honestly, if that trend, like if they actually do decide to shut down the city of Seattle and things, I'm like, hey, that's one less problem we have to worry about in this like freaking life crisis that we got going on and stuff. But that was the thing, like my friend, she was saying that it's like younger people ain't really being affected by it and stuff. It's mainly like older people, but I'm like still I don't want to be that reason, like if I do get it and then I end up passing it along to somebody and then they get it and they pass it along to an older person, it's all because of me. Like I can't live with that type of pressure, I don't want to be the cause of that. So yeah, I'm like it's just be safe, continue doing what like don't, and that's wash your hands, okay, for the amount of time they said so or whatever time you feel comfortable with, but you do not need to buy up all of the paper towels and all of the toilet paper. That I don't even understand how they said at first like wash your hands and then all of a sudden like I feel like that the world is being punked. Like, I remember that they said they were going to bring back that TV show. And I felt like Ashton Kutcher, he said, if they're all like punk coming out, like if this coronavirus clears up and then Ashton Kutcher or whoever is behind punk this time, if they're like, new season of, or not even a season, this is going to be a full-on movie. They're like, the punk movie is coming out in theaters near you and the whole world needs to watch it because everybody in this world is going to be in this movie, okay? Everybody is going to be affected by this movie. go see it, and then it's just Ashton Kutcher all like, oh yeah, let's just come up with some virus to just scare the life out of everybody. We gonna tell somebody, then they gonna tell somebody, then the whole world's gonna know, and now people, they using elbows instead of handshakes. Like, I seen the video. That video is actually funny, but the guy put his hand out to, like, for the other guy to shake it, and the guy's like, nah, bro, elbows. And the man was, like, really trying to force him to shake his hand. Got to the point where he chased him off the camera and stuff to shake his hand. And I'm like, see, it's people like that. I'm like, I can't trust you. Like, you don't seem right. Like, you definitely did not wash that hand. And therefore, you want me to get, not even probably a virus. You want me to just get whatever is on your hand. And I don't want no parts of that. I'm sorry, but I will not shake your hand. Like, that's what this world's going to come down to. There's going to be people that's like, oh, I don't care about the virus, so you shake my hand. I'm like, nah, well, I do care about the virus, and I don't know whether you have it or not, and so I cannot shake your hand. Like, we're going to be getting into arguments about handshakes, and it might even lead down to blows. Like, we're going to be out here really fighting for handshakes. Like, somebody's going to approach me and be all like, shake my hand right now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to shake your hand. It's like, it's people like that. I'm like, yeah, it's this world. I'm like, man, what is going on with people? Like, it just really was tripping me out, though. Like, all that, like, I went to the store yesterday, and it was like no paper towels and no toilet paper in there. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, they told us to just wash our hands. They didn't say buy up all the paper towel and toilet paper and all the hand sanitizer you can find in any store. Like, then it's gonna be really funny. Like, let's say tomorrow they was all like, oh, we found a cure for the coronavirus, so you guys don't have to worry or trip or anything. Like, this is all going to be settled and handled. And there's gonna be people sitting in their houses with all this hand sanitizer, all these paper towels, all this toilet paper, and they're gonna be sitting there like, wow, I used up my college, or I'd used up my kids' college money to buy a bunch of paper towels and a bunch of toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Like, it makes no sense how these people are carrying on. But in their eyes, they are doing the right thing, so I will not cross them. But anyways, I think then that's what they were saying. And I'm like, I don't even know if that's going to work out too, but there's like, the NBA, like, there's gonna be some players like playing NBA 2K20 and stuff to continue on this season and things. I'm like, look, I play NBA 2K20 to just talk about that game for a second. That is the most annoying game I have ever played in my life. Because one would think, okay, if you're playing a video, see, here's the thing, right? Because I played a wide variety of video games. If I'm playing a game where they got me on Mars shooting aliens and I ain't killed like hundreds of them, right? And they didn't even get a chance to kill me. So if we're going to put that in realistic terms, most likely I would not be able to survive on the planet Mars, okay? I'm not going to be able to drive some weird like hovering motorcycle thing that they got in that game, all right? And then alien life, I won't even want to come across alien life. But in this video game, Destiny, you can do all of that. Now, explain to me why, when you play NBA 2K20, 19, 18, whichever, okay? Why is it that they make it to where you are the worst playing character ever? And see, here's the thing, right? When basketball players, when they're playing and things, yeah, I can understand, you know, they miss a few shots here and there and stuff. But for the most part, like, you joined basketball for a reason. Like, you're good at it, okay? In NBA 2K20, whether they start you off as an overall of 65 or you manage to get all the way up to perfect, like 99 or 100, you are still going to be trash. And then it's funny because you can be the same level as, or the same overall rating as, let's say, Michael Jordan or Steph Curry or LeBron James, you know, some of the like biggest names in NBA and stuff. Let's say you be one of them, right? Or your overall rating is like theirs, right? It's pretty much identical to who they are. You somehow are still worse, not even in a comparison of LeBron James. And that's just why I cannot play that game. It's funny because on Xbox, which is currently down, I'm going to talk about that too, but on Xbox they have this like kind of like this like Netflix like service on there where you pay like a certain amount of money a month, and then they would let you play all these different video games for free. So no big deal, pretty cool. But I don't understand how they give away that game for free and things. I'm like, this game ain't even that fun. Like, it has bad ratings. Like, give out a game with good ratings that's fun, that people actually want to play. You know, like, that's a game where it's like, okay, played it, seen it, didn't really care for it, don't really like it that much. Like, that game brought out some serious anger out of me. And therefore, I do not want to play that game. I almost downloaded it. I'm still kind of thinking about it because I'm like, the game, I mean, yeah, it's free. Maybe I need to give it a second chance and stuff. But at this point, I'm like, you know what? No. I'm having myself a ball playing Destiny 2. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm like, that game, I'm like, I don't even understand. Like, I really don't. But, so no, talking about Xbox Live, because... And I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with this coronavirus situation where it's like a bunch of people are home, and that's overall why the servers keep closing down. Like, I had my eyes, I planned on playing Destiny tonight. You know, I wanted to play a little bit of it. I ain't gonna be able to do that. The Xbox Live servers are down. I'm like, that happened like twice. That happened like sometime last week. And then it happened again today. And I was like, see, what game was I getting ready to play? I was getting ready to play I was getting ready to play a game that didn't even require like online like access. It was just a straight up single player game. Yeah, they have a multiplayer mode on there, but I wasn't gonna play that. I was gonna play the story mode where I'm by myself. It doesn't even require me to play anything. But anyways, the video game is called Bully. That, look, to kind of give you guys a brief summary on that game, that is, without doubt, one of the funnest games Rockstar Games has ever released. Rockstar Games, they made Grand Theft Auto, Max Payne, they made all these different games, but Bully, even though they only made one out of that whole series, and I think I've heard that they plan on working on the second one, I don't know when it will be released, but... when it comes out, oh my, like that game, I'm playing one right now. I've been playing, I've been trying to play that game. There's like a few games I need to beat that I've never beaten in my life. For an example, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that game, when did that game come out? That game came out 4 years from now. It'd be 20 years, I think, since that game came out. I think it came out in like 2004, and I have not beaten that game yet. So, yeah. It's crazy. I remember when they had celebrated that game coming out like 10 years ago, or it was like, yeah, in 2014 when it came out like 10 years ago. Was it 2014? Or was it, or 2004? It might have been 2003, 2004, but yeah, that was a good game. But no, Bully was a really good game. Like that game, so it was like Grand Theft Auto, but it was like the high school, or it was like the school edition, because it was like, it took place at this academy. It was like called Bulworth Academy and stuff. So you're coming across like all these different kids. You got like the small like minor kids that you can't hit, otherwise security is gonna chase you down. You can't hit women for like, you know, obvious reasons and stuff. But yeah, and then security, they're gonna like, you're gonna get, so if a bully approaches you in the game, because they have bullies, jocks, greasers, nerds, preppy girls, nerdy girls, and then the kids on there. So, like, let's say if one of the bullies, the jocks, or the bully... Alright, so it was the bullies, jocks, and then the greasers. If any of them, like, approached you and wanted to start a fight, and then you punched them, you get, like, a small little, like, yellow meter. Like, security is on the, like, lookout and stuff, but they're not going to necessarily, like, chase you for that long. But let's say if you hit one of the little kids or one of the women in the game, security would chase you down. There's been times where I've gotten into fights in that game, accidentally hit a girl because she done walked past me, and then yeah, security's chasing me down. I'm having to hide in places and try to get away and things. What else? I remember I threw a bunch of firecrackers, and I think I hit like a girl or a kid with it, and ended up, yeah, getting chased down by security once again. And yeah, you can't hit security either. That's I don't think I've ever won a fight against one of the securities. I'll have to, like, next time I play, I'm like, can you take down the security in that game? Because I feel like you can't. But anyways, but yeah, I was trying to play that, and then they said that I couldn't because it was like something was wrong with the servers and things. And so then I went on to Twitter, And then that's when I seen it was trending and things that the Xbox Live servers is down. I'm like, really? On a single player game, I couldn't even play that. That's one thing that I just don't understand is that how am I not allowed to play a single player game? Like, sit down and think about it. Back then, when this game came out on the PlayStation 2, I didn't get Wi-Fi and like internet access and wasn't able to play like online video games until 2010. That's when my parents decided to go out and get a Wi-Fi box and things. Can't remember the reason why, but anyways, so before 2010, I played all of my video games offline. Every last one of them. I played every last one of my video games offline. Starting with Bully, Grand Theft Auto, what other games? There's a lot of games I played offline. And there's this one time where I remember, I think the power had went out, but it also had messed with the Wi-Fi too. So therefore, it was like the Wi-Fi, it wasn't like, you couldn't get any like internet access and stuff, but the power and everything had still worked. Weird, right? So anyways, I go to play this game called Just Cause 4. Now, to give you guys a little summary on that game, it's a really fun game. You play as this guy. He's like, I don't know, like a Hispanic Batman and things, but he's really dope. He got like this, he's like, I don't know. What would you, a grappling hook. He has like this like grappling hook and you shoot it at things and you just hook on this stuff. And that game is a really fun game. You can hijack planes, be flying planes and helicopters and all these other different wild vehicles in that game. You can go and get the grappling hook, attach it to a person and swing them off up in the air somewhere. Like, the game is really fun. It's a really fun game. Like, go watch some videos on it and stuff. But anyways, I went to play that one day when the internet was down, but the power was on. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, Just Cause is a single player game. It doesn't require any internet access. So I went to go play it, and they said, you're currently offline, so I could not play the game. I'm like, is there not an offline mode? And then you just save up all the data, and then when I do go online, then you put that data like online or whatever, the leaderboard or whatever you want to put in stuff. But I could not play the game. And I'm like, I've wasted $60 to play this game and I can't even play it. And it's a single player game. It doesn't require online access. I'm not even playing online. It's funny because that was the one game where I was like, this needs to be a multiplayer game. And here it is, like, they're all like, oh yeah, we'll make it like multiplayer, but you ain't gonna be able to play with anybody. It's games like, there's another game that was like that called No Man's Sky. And I think they did say originally the game was going to have a multiplayer feature, but when the game came out, it did not have a multiplayer feature. So, No Man's Sky, everybody hated that game. Everybody. That game, it was like dead for a while. It still pretty much is. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's dead. Like, I just think that they should have came out with the game that they had, like that. So the game that they have right now currently for No Man's Sky should have been the original one that came out. I feel like that the game would have possibly, it would have done a lot better. But when the game came out, they had like dinosaurs and other creatures in there that just looked super weird when they walked. And yeah, I could not. I tried playing that game, but I was like, what do I do? Like, what is there to do and stuff? Plus, I'm like, I don't even know if any of these creatures are gonna attack me and things. So I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with that. Then there was times where people said that when they played that game originally, because that game, No Man's Sky, it's not even a map. Like, you're traveling from galaxies to going to all these different planets. You're discovering all of these different planets. It's a really cool game. I really do like the concept of it. I might just play that game because I do own that game. So I'm like, I might just play it because it was just a really cool concept of like you going to these different planets, exploring them. The only reason why I played that game because I wanted to find like a Earth-like planet in there and stuff. So I always was playing that game, trying to find some like Earth-like planet so I can make a video on it and things, be the first one, because I don't think anybody that's played that game has discovered an Earth-like planet. I need to check and stuff, but anyways, but that game, it was like, they said they was supposed to have a multiplayer mode, but it didn't. And when you play it, it pretty much was single player and stuff. So and I think it was like supposed to be like, oh, it is a multiplayer or online only game. And that's, I hate online only games. Like, it's funny because one of my favorite video games, actually it is my favorite video game, Destiny, that's an online only game. But I hate the fact that it's online only. I wish they had it where you could just play solo, because playing with other people in that game, they just don't know how to play. They do not. And so therefore I'm like, if they made it to where that game was just if it was like a solo game, cool. I don't have to worry about other people. I don't like playing with other people unless they're friends or something, but other than that, I'm like, I don't like playing with random people. I played this one game today, Rocket League, and that game, so I overall was the better player on that whole team, surprisingly, and I hadn't played that game in like 2-3 years. But I was the better player on that team because I was the only one trying to keep, it's like a car/soccer game. So instead of like you running down the field, you're in this like little car driving down the field trying to like, overall same old soccer rules and stuff. But anyways, I was the only one trying to keep the soccer ball away from our goal. But my teammates that I was playing with kept having the ball get closer to our goal. And I'm like, bruh, why are you guys like not, what are you guys doing? Like, they are all hitting the ball and then they all take the ball like down the field. And I'm like, you're going the opposite way. Stop going that way with the ball. But they don't. That's why I'm like, if I played with friends, I'm like, okay, maybe I could try to sit down and explain it to them. But when I play with random people, and I'm like, that's happened every single time I have played that game. And I'm like, do you mean to tell me every time I play Rocket League, I am playing with people that's never played this game before? Like, I can understand if a friend of mine's never played the game before, but I feel like I can tell them, hey, like, keep the ball away from the goal. But random people that I've never played with, I would imagine that you know the rules to soccer. You want to keep the ball far away from your goal and closer to your opponent's goal. So then it could be easier for somebody on your team to score a goal. It's not like that on Rocket League. So therefore I'm like, that game, it's a fun game, but it's a game that I'm like, I cannot play with people. I seriously, like, if they got like a 1v1 mode, I'm going to start playing that. But I cannot play that game with teammates. Teammates don't know how to, I don't know. Call me Kobe, but I'm a ball hog when it comes to that game, because I'm like, I'm the only one, I feel like I'm the only one that knows what to do in that game. Everybody else, every time I play that game, I always feel like I'm playing with somebody that's brand spanking new to the game. Like, they had no idea what they were getting themselves into when they played Rocket League. So they just like, maybe it's one of those games where it is for people that's never, like, they don't know anything about it. They just was all like, somebody just sat them down in front of the TV. Like, you're only supposed to play that game like once in your life, but you're not supposed to know anything about the game. Well, if that's the case, I'm like, yeah, I can understand why. But it just seems like the opponents, like, maybe I should have been on the opponent's team, because they had the right idea. Keep the ball away from their goal. But my teammates wasn't following that idea. So maybe we had to come up with a different plan. I don't know. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. This is my second day in a row recording a podcast while it's light outside. That's crazy. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, that being said, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.